Well, good morning, everybody. We're reading through First Kings. Oh, I'm going to get this messed up, aren't I? I think it's First Kings 16, Second Chronicles 17. Hmm. Just double check the title because I'll have it right in the title. Um, you know, my wife and I were watching something the other night, and there's a lot of things going on in the world right now that has to do with racism and prejudice and all this sort of stuff. And in this show, there was a guy who was really showing attitude towards another guy, and the guy says, oh, "So you consider yourself the good guy and me the bad guy." But if I was born in the same place as you, maybe I would have had the opportunity to be a good guy too. And we realize that a lot of things in life, um, how we start off really depends on where we're born and to what parents we're born. And in those, we don't have any choices. So some people really luck out and get born into a wealthy country, and they're born to really solid parents, a solid family, and so they have some privileges. They have some opportunities that others don't. And then others who are born into to maybe bad situations, abusive parents, um, maybe not law-abiding parents, maybe in a poor country where you have to do bad things to survive. It's So our beginnings, okay, our beginnings, we have no choice in, but we always have the capacity to make decisions. And when we look at like what we're reading through today, um, King Ahab, he's king of Israel. He was born to a really terrible father, terrible king who taught him to be terrible. And Ahab was wicked. He was one of the worst kings that Israel ever had, and a Baal worshiper and just terrible. And he was actually brought to a situation where he repented. Um, he the Lord intervened for him, and I don't quite understand this, but the Lord intervened for him, and defeated the enemy and protected Ahab, and Ahab blew that situation by not doing exactly what the Lord wanted him to do. But the Lord basically sent word to him and said, get your affairs in order. You're about to die. And Ahab repented and went into sackcloth and ashes and called out to the Lord. And the Lord said to the prophet, look at this. He actually repented, and look at his heart. And so he delayed the consequences to another generation. Um, so in this way, Ahab, because of the decision he made, he actually became more than his father ever was. Even though he was a more wicked king than his father was, he also became a better king than his father had ever been. And then you have Jehoshaphat. And Jehoshaphat was born to Asa. And if you remember, Asa started off so fantastic. He really did. But Asa did something the Lord didn't want him to do. And the Lord, um, you know, disciplined him or rebuked him. And Asa got really upset about it. He didn't agree with this at all. And so um, he got mad. He got mad at Yahweh, and he actually died in pain with a foot disease, not caused by the Lord, but he wouldn't turn to the Lord for healing. The doctors couldn't do anything for him, but he was too stubborn to turn to Yahweh for help and healing. But Jehoshaphat was absolutely devoted to the Lord, totally devoted to the Lord, did everything that was right, um, walked in righteousness, devotion, got rid of all the things that needed to get rid of, and he became a king that far surpassed, very quickly surpassed everything that his father had been, and it was because he had turned to the Lord. Um, Ahab became a better king Not a great king, okay? Nobody's saying that he's going to get any medals pinned on his chest, but he repented. And that was a better situation than his father was ever in. But he had turned to the Lord. And so we have these decisions in our life. Wow, the wind's really picked up. We have these decisions in our life where we can be better. We can be better than our beginnings. If we had a great beginning, we could go on to something phenomenal. If we had a poor beginning, we could still go on to something phenomenal. The decision's ours. It's always that we're given that. We're given the capacity. The Lord makes all opens doors for all of us, and we need to walk through, and we need to take advantage of that. We need to make the most of every opportunity that is given to us, and we don't really have any excuses. Yeah. Okay, so you guys be blessed. You have a great day. I love you all.